Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, today we will continue to talk about Mahāparinibbāna Sutta, the Buddha's last days, part 5. Part 5. Then the Buddha continued to talk about another 7 group of Bhikkhu Aprihaniya Dhamma, non-declined Dhammas for bhikkhus. Actually, not only for bhikkhus, all listeners, all of his disciples. Then what are the another 7 Aprihaniya Dhamma, non-declined Dhammas for bhikkhus? Number 1. Yawa Gwenja Bhikkhu Bhikkhu Anicca Sinyam Bhawe Sandi. Oh, okay. Anicca Sinyam Bhawe Sandi. As long as bhikkhus develop the possession or infirmness, they may be expected to prosper, to develop, not to decline. Anicca Sinyam Bhawe Sandi. You see here, to develop the possession or infirmness. This is one Dhamma for bhikkhu to develop, not to decline. How to develop Anicca Sinyam Bhawe Sandi? Then, okay, not only here, the Buddha taught such maybe here about seven possessions, 7 sinyas. The Buddha taught this 7 sinya in many sutta, not only in this Mahāparinibbāna Sutta. For example, in Gautara Nikaya, there's one sutta named Girimananda Sutta. When the Buddha was dwelling at Jetavana Monastery, then Girimananda Bhikkhu was seriously sick. Then Venerable Ananda informed the situations to the Buddha. Then he also asked the Buddhas to visit Venerable Girimananda. Then Venerable, the Buddha taught the 10 possessions, including these 7 possessions, to Venerable Ananda. Then Venerable Ananda learned from the Buddha. Then when the Girimananda Bhikkhu listens to these 7 possessions, okay, altogether 10 possessions, including these 7 possessions, then Girimananda Bhikkhu will immediately recover from his illness. Then Venerable Ananda learned from the Buddha. Then Venerable Ananda taught to Venerable Girimananda about these 7 possessions. Then, after listening to these 7 possessions, together with the other 3 possessions, altogether 10 possessions, then Venerable Girimananda immediately recovered from his illness. That is why, when you develop these 7 possessions, this is also considered as Dhamma medicines. When you have a kind of disease, a mental disease or physical disease, then you also reflect on these 7 possessions again and again. Then you can recover from your illness. This is very important. Okay, remember this one. Then what is the 7 possession? First, number 1, Anicca Sinya. Anicca Sinya, to develop the possession or impermanence. How to develop the possession of impermanence? Anicca. When you are practicing vipassana, there are 5 aggregates, 5 khandhas. What are the 5 aggregates? Rupa Khanda, aggregate of materiality. Then Vedana Khanda, the aggregate of feelings. Sanya Khanda, aggregate of formations. Sankhara Khanda, aggregate of the phenomena, okay, mental phenomena or formations. Vijnana Khanda, aggregate of consciousness, altogether 5 khandas. You can pay attention, these 5 khanda is impermanence, anicca. Again and again. Then you are developing anicca sanya, the perception of impermanence. How to develop? First, you should try to fulfill the sila, at least 5 precepts. When your morality is pure, based on this pure morality, you try to practice one subject of meditation, like Anapanasati meditations or Bodhanussati, etc. Then what will happen? You can attain either excess concentrations or absorption concentration, Upachara Samadhi or Apana Samadhi, Jhana Samadhi. Then when you can remove the 5 hindrances from your mind with the attainment of those concentrations, then your mind is pure. Then when your mind is pure, concentrated, then concentrated mind can see the ultimate reality, Pramata Nama Rupa as they really are. Then pay attention to those Pramata Nama Rupa by ways of 5 aggregates. Then you can contemplate them as anicca, impermanence. You know, for example, you have already practiced Anapana meditation up to 4 jhana stage. Then first enter into the Anapana concentration up to 4 jhana stage. Based on this 4 jhana concentration, you develop 4 elements in your body. Then when you have already practiced 4 element meditations successfully, then very soon you will see kalapa, small particles, many small particles. Then you should continue to practice 4 elements and those small particles systematically. Then you will understand the 4 elements as they really are, up to Pramata Rupa stage. Then based on these 4 elements discernment, then you can continue to practice the other, Upada Rupa, derived materiality, as they really are, door by door. Then you will be able to discern ultimate materiality, Pramata Rupa in your body. Then you will also understand those Pramata Rupa by ways of quantity. For example, how many rupa are there? Or 28 kinds of rupa, internally and externally. Okay? Altogether, 28 kinds of rupa. You also understand the causes of rupa. The rupa arise because of karma, citta, udud, and ahara. Or they are the causes of rupa. And when you understand the ultimate materiality, Pramata Rupa, by ways of quantity and by ways of causes, then you have analytical knowledge of matter, analytical knowledge of materiality, Rupa. Okay? Then based on these Rupa are what? Or these Rupa are Rupa Khanda, aggregate of materiality. Then you can see Rupa Khanda up to Pramata Rupa, ultimate reality state as they really are. Then based on this, then you can continue to practice Nama meditations. All Lokiya Nama, the mundane Nama Dhamma, except Lokottara Nama Dhamma. For example, you have already attained jhana's concentration, like Anapana, jhana. then you enter into Anapana jhana, the first jhana. Imagine from the first jhana, you pay attention to those jhana viti process. Or as the jhana viti process arise depending on habits. There are 62 rupa in the hado. Okay, these 62 rupa in the hado are called rupa khanda. Then if you have already practiced rupa meditation and nama meditation, you understand what I am talking. Okay, you will understand. Then these 62 rupa in the hado are rupa khanda. Or pay attention, the arising and perishes of this 62 rupa in the hado, then you contemplate them as anicca, anicca, dukkha, dukkha, anatta, anatta. According to the nature of Paramatha, Nama and Rupa, then they cannot last for a long time. As soon as they arise, they perish. That is why they are anicca. Okay, you only just pay attention the anicca, impermanent nature of Rupa Khanda. Or then you are contemplating the perception of impermanence on Rupa Khanda. Anicca, 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 many times. Okay, many times. Then when you have contemplated the Rupa Khanda as anicca, impermanence, then you can continue to contemplate Vedana Khanda. What Vedana Khanda? You know, jhana, the first jhana chaita, the first jhana chaitas associated with 33 Cetasika mental factors, altogether 34 Ceta and Cetasika in the first jhana viti. There's a Vedana feelings in each mind moment. Okay, in each mind moment, there's a Vedana. This Vedana is called perception of, the aggregate of Vedana, Vedana Khanda. Vedana Khanda. Then you pay attention those Vedana in each mind moment throughout the viti. You only just pay attention throughout the viti. Pay attention the arising and perishes of Vedana. Then you contemplate them as anicca, anicca, dukkha, dukkha. Anicca, 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 anicca. Many times pay attention, they are arising and perishing. Then you are contemplating, you are developing the perception of impermanence on Vedana Khanda. Okay, Vedana Khanda. In the same way, when you finish the contemplation of Vedana Khanda, then the same way you can continue to contemplate Sanya Khanda in the first jhana, aggregate of perception. What is Sanya Khanda? You know, in the first jhana, viti, you know, it will occur as Manodra Vajana, Brikama, Upajara, Anuloma, Godrabu. Many times jhana chavana. As long as you are entering into the first jhana are arising constantly for long times. Then these are called jhana chavana. Okay, jhana chavana. Then in each mind moment, you know, there are each consciousness. This each consciousness also associate with the perception. Perception also associate with these each consciousness. Then you only just pay attention perception in each mind moment throughout the viti. Then only just one line. According to their nature, as soon as arise and perish, but pay attention the perception throughout the viti, pay attention the arising and perishing's nature, then contemplate them as anicca, 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 many times, long times. Then you are contemplating the perception as impermanence. Okay, then anicca senya. When you finish the contemplating of impermanence on senya khanda, then sankhara khanda. You know, in the first jhana, the other remaining Cetasika mental factors are called sankhara khanda, the aggregate of formations. Then you pay attention those sankhara khanda throughout the viti, pay attention the arising and perishes, contemplate them as anicca, 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 many times. Then you are contemplating the possession or impermanence on Sankhara Khanda. You have possession or impermanence. Okay? You anicca nupassana. Anicca senya or anicca nupassana, they are the same. Then consciousness, in the first jhana we teach, there's a consciousness, citta, in each mind moment, especially jhana, the first jhana citta. The first jhana citta is called jhana javana. Okay? Then pay attention those citta in each mind moment in the first jhana we teach, contemplate them as anicca, many times. Why they are called anicca? As soon as they arise and perish, actually. But if you only just enter into jhana, you don't see this nature. But when you discuss nama, according to nama meditations, then you will understand their nature. After analyzing those nama as they really are, then you also understand their nature. Their nature is, as soon as they arise and perish, impermanent nature, or impermanent nature. This is their nature. Then pay attention, the arising and perishing of consciousness, then contemplate them as anicca. Then you are developing the possession and impermanence on Vijnana Khanda, consciousness aggregate. Or after finishing one by one, then you pay attention 5 khandas together. Then pay attention the arising and perishing, contemplate them as anicca, many times, long times, okay, many days. Then what will happen? You will have vipassana knowledge. You will be able to remove the attachment to those 5 aggregates. Then, if you can remove the attachment, then your mind is liberated from the defilement, attachment. This is very important. You are trying to liberate from the attachment or the defilement. Then your mind is free from the attachment, free from the defilement. You are searching for this one. As long as you still have attachment, as long as you still have defilement, then your mind is still not free. Your mind is still not free from the suffering. Your mind is still not free from the attachment or impurities. So your mind is still dirty. That is why you are contemplating those 5 aggregates as impermanence. Then when you develop in this way, then you will develop in your life. You will develop, your vipassana knowledge is developing. In this way, you practice, you contemplate those 5 aggregates as anicca, many times, a long time. Then your vipassana knowledge develop further. Your vipassana knowledge become higher and higher. Finally, then you can reach up to the higher level of vipassana knowledge, Sankhara state. Then, after that, depends on your parami and your wish. At the end of vipassana, then you can realize nibbana. In this way, when you realize nibbana, then your past knowledge will completely destroy the respective defilements. The defilement the past knowledge destroyed will never appear in your mind again. Then when you continue to contemplate those 5 aggregates as impermanence with the intentions to attain higher attainment. Higher attainment means if you become Sotapanna, then to become Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arhanta. This is one intention. Then another one is to remove the further defilements. You have already removed, the wrong view and doubt towards the trapezans, etc. Karma and its result, etc. You have already destroyed all defilements which can cause for full state with the Sotapatti path knowledge. Then, when you want to remove, when you want to destroy the further defilement, the other remaining defilement, your intention is to destroy the other remaining defilement, or to attain higher attainment, to destroy the defilements which is remaining. Then with the intention, you continue to contemplate the 5 aggregates as impermanence. Okay, what will happen? What will happen? Then you can attain higher attainment. Then when you attain higher path knowledge, the higher path knowledge will destroy more defilement. In this way, you can reach up to Arahanta state. Then you finish, you have done what should be done. There's nothing to do further. Okay? Or you need to develop the possession of impermanence in this way. Then you may be expected to prosper, to develop, not to decline. So, anicca sanya, you understand? Then, if you have any disease in your body or in your mind, then when you are developing this possession of impermanence, then you can also remove those diseases from your body or your mind. Then the mind, the disease, the mental disease. Mental disease refers to defilements. You can destroy by developing the possession of impermanence. When you can remove the defilements from your mind is very pure. Then whenever you want to stay with, then you will stay with only just good objects, not bad objects. Even although you are paying attention to desirable or undesirable objects, agreeable or disagreeable objects, but your mind has, vipassana mind, vipassana knowledge. That is why only just vipassana jnana, the insight knowledge will arise. That they are only kusala, not akusala. That is why there's no defilement. Because of no defilement in your mind is very fresh and pure. Then pure mind also can produce your, the good circulations, blood circulations in your body, etc. Then your body will be happy. Then physical disease also will disappear. And this is very important. So if you wish to develop your life, then develop the possession of impermanence on the 5 aggregates. But if you don't, if you are not successful up to this stage, how to develop? Don't worry. Then as far as you can. For example, every day many are dying. Many are dying. You also reflect. Then we will also die one day like this person. This is impermanence. About 100 years ago, there were many people in the world. But nowadays, not so many people. How many people have the over 100 years? Not so many people. So all people about 100 years ago, then they all passed away. Then now there are a lot of people in the world. They are new people, new human beings, not the old human beings. Okay? Then after 100 years, what will happen? There are many people in the world now, but after 100 years, they all will disappear from the world. They will pass away. Then after 100 years, there will be new human beings, not the current human beings. Or when you reflect on this one, what will happen? The world is impermanent. All beings in the world are impermanent. Then you understand. Then you also reflect on this. All are impermanent. Okay, all are impermanent. Anicca. Then when you are reflecting on this, when you are developing this, then you have anicca sanya, the possession of impermanence. Then don't worry. If you have such kinds of knowledge, the possession of impermanence, your life will develop, will not decline. Why? By knowing the nature of the impermanence, then you will not do akusala, you will avoid doing akusala, or you will do more and more kusala. You are doing generosity, dana, kusala. You will not be satisfied with doing the generosity. You will take the 5 precepts not to break. Then you have sila kusala. You will not be satisfied with sila only. Then you will continue to develop meditation. You will continue to practice samatha and vipassana meditation based on sila and samadhi. Then you will have vipassana knowledge. then Vipassana knowledge, then later will change to Mega knowledge and Phala knowledge. Then when you realize Nibbana, okay, then your life is developing. You are developing. Because of this reason, you should develop the possession of impermanence. This is one factor to develop your life, not to decline. And another possession, number two, another senya bhavasandi, as long as bhikkhu or the Buddha disciple develop the possession of non-self, another senya, they may be expected to prosper, not to decline. Not to decline, Another senya. Here, whatever, another senya, how to develop the possession of non-self, another senya. The same way in the Buddha taught in Girimananda Sutta. The Buddha taught in Girimananda Sutta to develop the another senya. In Girimananda Sutta, the Buddha says to develop the another senya on 12 ayarana, 6 internal sense bases and external, internal and external sense bases, altogether 12. What are the internal? Or, Chakunja, Pateja, Rupeja, Ubijati, Chaku Vinyana here. When you see the external Ruparamana side objects, when these side objects appear in your eye door, based on this eye door, what will happen? Chaku Vinyana consciousness will arise. Chakunja, Pateja, Rupeja, Ubijati, Chaku Vinyana. Or here, when you see Sundance, then this objects, Ruparamana side objects will appear in eye doors, eye base. Then, depending on these two, internal and external base, then Chaku Vinyana consciousness will arise. Then me Chaku Dwara Viti will arise. In this Viti, you can see this one is a Chaku Basara. It's called Chakayarana, eye base. Then side object, Ruparamana objects is called Rupayarana, or the Rupayarana side base. Then this one is the internal base. The side object is external base. Depending on these two, then Chaku Dwara Viti will arise. In Chaku Dwara Viti, all mind are called Manayarana. Then there are also Chitasika mental factor, which is associated with the mind. In this Viti, they are called Dhammayarana, Dhamma base. Mind base and Dhamma base. Or in this Viti, there are altogether 4 ayarana, 4 bases. 4 bases. In this way, Sota Dwara Viti, Sota Pasara, Sota Ayarana, ear base. Then, when the sound objects appear in the ear base, when they impinged in ear base, then Sota Vinyana consciousness will arise. Then means Sota Dwara Viti will arise. In this Viti also you see 4 bases. In this way, Ghana Yarana and the smell objects. Jingwa Yarana, the time base and taste objects. Kaya Yarana, Kaya Dwara and the tangible objects. The Mana Yarana, mind base and the Dhamma objects. When you descend 6 lines, 6 Vitis, then you also finish the discernment of 12 ayarana, 6 internal and external bases. So 6 internal bases and 6 external bases, altogether 12 ayarana. You develop the 12 ayarana as non-self. Then you are developing the possession of non-self on the 12 ayaranas. Okay. Understand? For example, you are entering into Anapana, the first jhana. Imagine from the first jhana, then you pay attention. Not only the first jhana, second jhana, also in the same way, enter into the second jhana. Imagine from the second jhana, pay attention to those jhana with it. The third jhana, the fourth jhana, the same. Enter into Anapana, fourth jhana. Imagine from the fourth jhana, you pay attention those jhana with it. You know, mind door, mind base, manayarana. Then the object is Dhamma object or Dhamma objects. So they are called Dhammayarana. Depending on this jhana which arise, there's also mind. This one is also manayarana. Manayarana. Then there are also Chittasika mental factor, which is associated with this mind. They are also called Dhammayarana. Then when they are there, then how to discern? You pay attention the jhana viti throughout the viti. Actually, according to their nature, when there are causes, when there are conditions, they arise. If there are no causes or no condition, they cannot arise. Nobody can manage them to do so, okay, to arise. So there's a no self which is managing our body, something like this. But many people thought there's a self which is providing our body or to go here and there to do something or managing, arranging our life. Actually, this is only just thinking. For example, when someone passes away, what will happen? The self, atta, soul, ego is still existing. It will not pass away. Only just body disappear, body pass away. The ego, the soul, or self move to the other body. Or they think like this. Actually, no. According to Paramatha point of view, as soon as they arise in Paris, they cannot exist for a long time. Then this is called Jiva Atta. Okay, Jiva Atta. Jiva Atta, everybody has their own Jiva. This Jiva, this soul, this Atta is managing their life, what to do, where to go, etc. Actually, this is only just thinking. There's no real Atta, no real ego, no real soul in their body. Okay? Then they also think these are Jiva Atta. Everybody has this Jiva Atta. Every being has this Jiva Atta. There's also one Parama Atta. Parama Atta is one creator. You know, the creator, God, create those beings. They think this creator existing, this creator is existing without disappearing, without dying. Or they think like this. This creator is, they consider nowadays maybe God or Brahma, etc. The Brahma or the Deva, their lifespan is very long. Because of this reason, during the Buddha time in Brahmachala Sutta, last time I also explained briefly. Then many people think there's a creator. Then this creator create the beings. Then there's a Atta in each beings. Or this creator will never disappear, will never die. Because of this reason, this creator is called Parama Atta. Parama Atta. Parama Atta. That is why there are two kinds of Atta, Parama Atta and Jiva Atta. All being has each Atta, each ego soul in their body, which is managing. Or this is Jiva Atta. Actually, no. When you see the Paramatha Nama Rupa, you know, when you see eyes, sight objects, then sight objects will appear in the idol, will impinge to the idol. When there are these two conditions, eye consciousness arises. You know this is sight objects, this is Ruparamana objects, this is idol process arise. As soon as they arise, they will vanish. Before arising, there are also no eye consciousness, no nothing, no Atta. After arising, also when there are conditions, then they arise. After arising, they vanish. There's nothing existing anywhere like this. Then this is what non-self nature. There's a no non-self. If there's a self, sure, then you want then to will exist for a long time, then they will exist. Actually, no existing. Okay? As soon as they arise and perish when they are a condition. After arising also there's nothing, only just perishing. Then when there are another condition, they will arise again, another things, then they will also perish. There's a no self. Oh, you understand this one. Then in this way, you can discern the nature of non-self and those 12 ayarana. Then when you finish the discernment or 12 ayarana, 6 lines, 6 vidis. As non-self, then you are developing the perception of non-self on 12 ayarana. Then what will happen? You will develop in your life, your vipassana knowledge will develop. The non-self, anatta senya is very important. If you cannot discern the anatta senya as they really are, you cannot destroy the kana senya, the possession of compactness or mass. Then if you have no knowledge of possession of non-self, then although you have anicca senya and dukkha senya, you still cannot realize nibbana. That is why the possession of non-self also very important to develop in detail. You develop the anatta senya, the possession of non-self, then your vipassana knowledge will become mature at the end of maturation state of vipassana. Then you can realize nibbana. Then you can develop up to realization of nibbana. Then this is possession of non-self. Another one. Number 3. Asubha senya bhavesandi, to develop the possession of impurity. Then you may be expected to prosper, not to decline. Possession of impurity or possession of foulness, possession of unattractiveness. Asubha, asubha. Here, in Grimananda Sutta, to develop the possession of impurity or the foulness, the Buddha instructs you to develop the 32 parts of the body. 32 parts of the body, you know what are the 32 parts of the body? You have already known the discernment of the 32 parts of the body. Ati ima samenkaye, Kesa, Loma, Naka, Danda, Tacho, Mansan, Naru, Ati, Menjan, Wakan, and Pali. Then you also understand there are in this body, there are hair, okay, body hair, nail, teeth, skin, or mansan, flesh, sinews, bone marrow, kidney, etc. Then in this way, you discern up to urine in your body one by one. 32 parts of the body discernment. First, you need to try to memorize those 32 parts of the body with your own language. If you are Chinese, then you try to understand in Chinese language. If you are Myanmar or any other people, then you can also try to understand. You also try to memorize these 32 parts of the body with your own language. If you understand Pali, it will be better. Then you try to memorize the 32 parts of the body. Then pay attention the impurity nature, foulness nature of the 32 parts of the body, or you develop as impurity, as foulness again and again, as repulsiveness again and again, on those 32 parts of the body. Hair, body hair, nail, teeth, skin, and this way again and again, from hair to urine to hair, again and again. Then you are developing the possession of impurity. Then when you can successfully practice, this 32 parts of the body again and again, what will happen? Then you will not have attachment to your body. Why? Actually, you think this is only just men or women, beautiful or handsome. Actually, only just a group of 32 parts of the body. When you take out part by part, you divide into 32 groups in your body. There's no men or no women. there's a no handsome or there's a no beauty, no beautiful, okay? No beauty. Then you understand. Only just a group of 32% of the body. In each part, you see there's a no beauty. You think this is beautiful. Actually, only just repulsiveness. Only just repulsiveness. For example, hair. If hair is there in your head, then you think it is beautiful. For example, when you are eating, then you find one hair in the rice or food, then what will happen? You don't want to continue to eat your food because of hair. Then this is only just hair. If, for example, saliva or something come out from your mouth, then nobody want to continue to eat in this way. Is it? The internal organ, you will be able to understand. There are a lot of, for example, new food, old food, urines, etc. When even you don't want to touch, even you don't want to see those kinds of repulsive part of the body. Then you understand the repulsiveness nature of the body or foulness nature, impurity, the nature or impurity of the body. Then you are developing the perception of impurity. This is a samatha meditation state. But when you are practicing vipassana meditation, sure, when you pay attention those 32% of the body as repulsiveness or foulness, very soon you will see kalapa, small particles, because you have already practiced 4 elements meditation, rupa meditation, nama meditations many times. When you pay attention your body as 32% of the body, part by part as repulsiveness, very soon you will see small particles, kalapa. Then you pay attention up to Brahmata Rupa stage, generally. Then pay attention the arising affections nature, then you can contemplate it as a nature, dukkha, anatta again, or asubha again. Okay, asubha in this way. Then your vipassana knowledge will develop up to realization of nibbana. Another one, 32% of the body. Another one, number 4, is it? Number 4, Adinava Senya Bodhisandi, as long as bhikkhus develop the perception of force of formation, or maybe sometimes danger also, okay? Danger. To develop the perception of dangers, they may be expected to prosper, not to decline. Adinava Senya. Adinava Senya, here in Girimananda Sutta mentioned, Buddha Ayangayo Bu Adinavo. This body is full of suffering in this body. They are full of dangers in this body. You reflect on this again and again. Why? Full of suffering and full of dangers in this body. There are in this body, there are many diseases. Chakku rogo, eye disease, then ear disease. Even, eye disease, your eye is good, okay? But this is not all the times. Then when you become older and older, your eyes become weak. You cannot see the things clearly. Is it? You have many eye disease. That is why the eye specialist, eye clinic, eye hospital, there is a hospital for the eye treatment. Is it? If your eye have no disease, no problem, then there will not be any hospital for the eye treatment. Because of this reason, you also reflect on the disease of eyes. This is also dangerous in your body. Or there's also disease in my eyes. Can be disease in my eyes. Okay. Then so that the ear disease, nose disease, tongue disease, body disease. There are many diseases in the body. In this Girimananda Sutta, even the Buddha count about 50 diseases in your body. But in Myanmar we say 96 kinds of disease in our body. Is it? 96 kinds of disease in our body. But now there are also many new diseases which is appearing in the world, like coronavirus, etc. Is it? Then countless kinds of disease in our body. There's nothing to have attachment to our body. Then you reflect on those kinds of natures in our body. Then you are developing the perception of food or our body or formation or our body. Then you are developing the perception of dangers in our body. Then if you are reflecting on this, then you will not have attachment to our body. If you don't have attachment to your body, then you can also remove the attachment to other bodies. Then what will happen? Then your mind will be liberated from the defilement. The liberation, vimukti means this one. You are practicing meditation to liberate from the suffering, to liberate from the attachment, defilements, etc. Then by developing in this way, you will be able to liberate from the defilements, kilesa. Your mind will be very free. Okay, I will not count the 50 kinds of disease. But in Vipassana meditation state, when you contemplate those 5 khanda, or for example, formations in your body, eye, ears, nose, tongue, body, at the time you only just see the ultimate materiality, Paramatha Rupa only. Then you can also see the Paramatha Nama only. Then you pay attention, then as anicca, dukkha, anatta, paying attention the arising impressions nature. Then you are also contemplating the perception of dangers in your body. Then adinava jnana is a higher knowledge or vipassana knowledge, higher vipassana knowledge. Then when you contemplate the Paramatha Nama Rupa as anicca, dukkha, anatta systematically, you can also reach to the adinava jnana or higher vipassana knowledge. Then continue to practice vipassana, then you can realize nibbana. When you realize nibbana according to the level, you will be liberated from, you will be able to liberate your mind from the defilement. Your mind will be free from defilement. This is liberation. Vimukti rather, okay? The taste of liberation. The adinava senya, then another one. The Pahana Senya. Pahana Senya. Pahana Senya Bhavasandi, as long as bhikkhus develop the possession of abandonment or relinquishment, then they may be expected to prosper, not to decline. But the Pahana Senya, this is also important. For example, you are still ordinary person, Puddhasana. Then usually, if they don't practice samatha and vipassana meditation successfully, their mind are overwhelmed by, the 5 hindrances or defilement. If their mind is associated with the 5 hindrances or defilement, what will happen? Usually, they are thinking about sexual pleasures, or when they see the agreeable object, they have attachment to this agreeable object. They want the agreeable objects, sensuous objects. They are thinking about this, the sensuous objects to obtain, to get these sensuous objects. Then what will happen? They should try to abandon this sensuous thoughts. If you don't try to abandon, what will happen? Sure, they were trying to get those objects. Then, the adina dana means this one. They want others' property. They want others' property. They want not only property. For example, they want one beautiful girl. What will happen? If they don't abandon, if they don't try to abandon this sensuous thought, the thought related to regarding the sensual pleasure, then they will commit this one, adina dana or kamesu mechachara. Adina dana, they may steal others' property, what is not given. They will do such a misconduct with the other unlawful girl. etc. Is it? They will commit the kamesu mechachara. Then now, in the world, you see, they don't control, they don't try to abandon their sensuous thought, their desires. Because of this reason, what happened? They take others' property with the force. Even power also in the same way, they don't try to abandon their evil thoughts. Then what happened? They try to commit not only the stealing others' property, not only doing such misconduct with the girl, etc. What happened? Many unwholesome thoughts or actions, dojjarita, many bad actions appear in the world. Now they are fighting each other based on this one. Then if they try to abandon those, karma vitaka, sensuous thought, the thoughts regarding sensual pleasure, by developing samatha and vipassana, then what will happen? They will not commit in this way. Then there will not be problem in the world. But there are many problems because they don't try to abandon such kinds of the thought regarding sensual pleasure. Then based on this, they commit many things. They want to take others' property, not in accordance with the law, in accordance with the Dhamma. That is why many dujjarita, bad actions, many problems appear in the world. But when they try to abandon those thoughts regarding sensual pleasure, then there will not be problem regarding this. That is why the possession or relinquishment, abandonment is very important. Not only this one, vyapada vidaka, the thoughts regarding killing others beings. They are getting angry if they don't try to relinquish their dosa, anger from their mind by developing samatha and vipassana. What will happen? Sometimes they are getting angry with someone or something or some group or some country. Then what happens? Then they destroy the other country. They kill other beings. They don't care. This is based on the thought regarding killing others. Vyapada vitaka, the thoughts related to dosa. This is very important. When dosa appear, don't accept this dosa for a long time. Immediately develop one samatha and vipassana meditation. Then dosa will automatically disappear. But need to practice again and again. When the dosa disappear, you will not commit panati pala, killing living being, etc. Then otherwise it will grow. It will become stronger and stronger. Finally, they kill. When you kill someone or something, not only this one, then there will be many problems. Now, group to group, country to country. Now, they are fighting, you see, they are killing many. This one based on the vyapada vitaka, the thought regarding evil, regarding anger, regarding killing others being. That is why when the dosa appear in your mind to kill other beings, don't try to accept immediately. Develop samatha and vipassana meditation to abandon these thoughts regarding dosa, regarding killing living being. Vihimsa vitaka also the same way. The thought regarding harming others or torturing others, or they want to torture others, they want to make problem with others, or when it appears in their mind, they don't try to abandon it. Actually, when it appears, then don't accept it for a long time. Trying to develop samatha and vipassana meditation, or maybe trying to have good mind instead of this evil mind. Or if they don't try in this way, then it began stronger. Then finally, they torture others. They don't consider it is lawful or not lawful, only just follow their desire. Then they make many problems. That is why if there are evil thoughts in your mind, don't accept them immediately trying to abandon them by developing samatha and vipassana. Okay, this is possession of the relinquishment or abandonment. When the three evil vitaka, evil thoughts appear. Another one, number 5, number 6, is it? Viraga senya bodhisandi to develop the possession or dispassion, to develop the possession of detachment or dispassions. Raga, this one actually, viraga may refer to nibbana. Refer to nibbana when you are practicing vipassana, then refer to the vipassana knowledge also, okay? For example, when you are developing the 5 aggregates, anicca, dukkha, anatta, at the times, no attachment appear. You are trying to destroy the attachment from your mind. By seeing their fault or formation, then you can destroy attachment to those formations slowly. This is called vipassana knowledge. Then when the vipassana knowledge becomes mature, then you can realize nibbana. No more nama rupa. Okay, no more nama rupa, no more formations in nibbana. Based or depending on nibbana objects, then what will happen? The attachments cannot arise in your mind. And when you are entering into phala samapatti, taking nibbana as objects, no more attachment. This is called dispassion, viraga, no more raga. That is why, in Girimananda Sutta, the Buddha says, etan santa, etan panitan, sabha sankhara samatho, sabhuputi neseko, tanyakya virago nirodho nibbana. Virago nibbana. When you are taking nibbana as objects in phala samapatti, what will happen? There's this nibbana is peaceful, this nibbana is sublime, this nibbana is superior. You only just reflect in this way. Then, why the nibbana is peaceful and superior? There's no nama rupa, no formations in nibbana object. There's no upadis, acquisitions in nibbana object. No attachment in nibbana object. Then the nibbana is the destruction of craving. There's no craving in nibbana. Then virago, there's no raga in nibbana. Because of this reason, the nibbana is peaceful, nibbana is sublime, nibbana is superior. But when they are reflecting on this, then they are developing the possession or dispassion. But before reaching nibbana state, then when they are contemplating the nama rupa objects as vipassana, as anicca, dukkha, anatta, at the time also they have no the raga. That is why you can consider dispassion, viraga. Okay, but this one refers to lokiya vipassana and lokottara vipassana also. When you are developing, when you are contemplating nama rupa as anicca, dukkha, anatta at that time, then you also have viraga, no attachment to those formations. When you realize nibbana, taking nibbana as object, then you also contemplating. There's no craving, there's no attachment. No attachments cannot appear because of nibbana object. Then you are developing the possession of dispassion, viraga senya. And sure, when you continue to develop in this way, no defilements can arise in your mind. Then practice in this way, then you can become arahanta. In arahanta state, no more defilements will not appear again. But before this, sure, then as long as you are developing, will develop. If you haven't removed those defilements with the past knowledge here, it may appear again. In this way, you need to develop until you become arahanta. Another one, number 7. Nirodha or Nirodha Senya Bodhisandi, to develop the possession of cessation. Then you may be expected to prosper, not to decline. Nirodha Senya, Nirodha Senya also similar. In Girimananda Sutta, the Buddha said, Edan, Sanda, Eta, Panitan, Sava Sankhara, Samato, Savupati, Niseko, Tanekayo, Nirodha Nibbana. Oh, just now Virago Nibbana. Here is a Nirodha Nibbana. Only just change instead of change to the Nirodha instead of Virago. The Nirodha is a cessation of craving. The same way, this Nibbana is peaceful. This Nibbana is superior, sublime, because there's no sankhara formation, no nama, rupa, no five aggregates. There's no ubadit, no attachment. There's no craving, no defilement. Then Nirodha, the cessation of defilements, cessation of suffering. There's no defilement. All suffering or all defilement cease in Nibbana. Or pay attention Nibbana objects when they are developing, then they are developing the possession of cessation. Before attainment of Nibbana, when they are contemplating Nama Rupa as Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, then there's also no raga, no defilement at the time. Then can consider as temporary cessations. But when you attain Nibbana, then the respective defilements will be destroyed by the respective path knowledge. Then at that time, the respective defilements will completely cease without remainder. Okay, without remainder. Then when you are taking Nibbana as objects, what happens? Then you are developing the possession of cessation. Then you will be able to develop in your life, not to decline. In this way, you can attain up to Arahanta state. At the time, your mind will be liberated from the defilement completely. Then you will have the taste or liberation, vimukti rasa. Then in this way, you will develop. So altogether, possession or defilements. The possession, 7 possessions, okay? Then as long as you are developing these 7 possessions, then you may be expected to prosper, not to decline. Then the another 3 senya, actually Sabalogi Anabhirati senya, Sabha Sankhari to Anisa senya and Anapanasati. The Buddha continued to talk to Venerable Ananda. Then Venerable Ananda also share his dhammas to Kirimananda. Kirimananda listens to this 10 possession, including these 7 possessions. Then he immediately recovers from his illness. Then if you have any disease in your body or your mind, you also reflect on these 7 possessions again and again. Then you can immediately recover from the illness. Not only this one, in many Sutta, the Buddha taught those 7 possessions. And many Nikaya also. For example, to be able to penetrate the raga, dosa, moha, and many other defilements, okay, develop the possession of impermanence, etc. To be able to abandon raga, dosa, moha, etc., kilesa, then they reflect on the possession of anicca, etc. Then these 7 possessions. Or in this way, the Buddha taught in many sutta, not only in this sutta. Because of this reason, the reflecting on these 7 possessions, then this is very important for all of Buddha's disciples who are searching for the Nibbana, who are searching for the real happiness, who are searching for the liberations. Then their mind will liberate from the defilement, then they will experience vimukti rasa, the taste of liberations. Then the Buddha also taught in this Mahāparinibbāna Sutta. That is why you should try to develop these 7 possessions again and again. Then you may be expected to develop until you realize Nibbana. You will not decline. May you be able to attain Nibbana as soon as possible. Sadhu. Sadhu, sadhu.
Siara, thank you very much for your teaching today. We have about 19 minutes left. Maybe open the floor for today's questions.
If the colleagues means a working partner, the colleagues have this happiness and also anger, and the happiness of anger and anger of the colleagues influence him. So how to pay attention rightly means yoniso manasikara to deal with colleagues, so that he can maintain his mindfulness and kusala citta.
Collect.
Collect means a working partner.
Oh, okay.
The working partner have this happiness and also anger, and this happiness of anger of the colleagues will influence him. So how to deal with them so that he can maintain mindfulness and kusala mind?
The depends on their natures also. Then the nature, charita, some persons, according to their character, their nature, they are always getting angry with even very slightest things, very small things. They are getting angry easily, like this. Then without changing their habit, their characters, very difficult. Very difficult. This one is especially the practice of samatha and vipassana. They are very important to change their characters. Okay, then to be able to control their anger, then develop metta most of the times, or develop 4 elements meditation most of the time in this way. When they develop, then when they stay with the good objects, then the anger will not appear easily in this way, is it? In this way, or some persons, their character is for example, the attachment, raga charita, stronger than the other defilements. Then according to their character, their nature, the attachment may appear easily. To be able to control the attachment, to be able to remove the attachments, they should stay with the opposite object. For example, developing asubha meditation, asubha bhavitava ragasa pahanaya. In this way, need to do. Okay, then try ask their partners to practice meditation. Not only meditations, to do good things, to have yoniso manasikara, wise attention, whatever condition they experience, not to get angry or not to have too much attachment, etc. In this way, if they trying to change their habit, their character in this way, slowly can be able to control. Can be able to control. And then depends on your condition also. If your dhamma is very good, very high, then okay, no problem. Then you can stay. If you cannot bear with those partners influence on you, what will happen? Then stay alone is better with the dhamma. In the monastery, okay? In the monastery also, you will need to associate with the other meditator, bhikkhu with the other bhikkhu, syale with the other bhikkhu, the other syales. Is it? What will happen? Okay. Then they also, if they don't stay with their dhamma, they are always getting angry each other also. Not only in the family life. Monastery life also sometimes we remind them not to get angry each other, to stay with their own dhamma, to understand the condition, etc. In this way, they can be able to solve the problem.
If someone have practiced dana, sila, and so on, all the kusala in the daily life, but he doesn't pay attention to control the dosa mind, so this kusala, the kusala that he has done, will it be destroyed?
At least when you are doing, for example, dana, kusala, generosity with happy mind, at that time no dosa, then you can temporarily remove the dosa. But as long as you haven't removed the dosa yet, then later will appear the dosa. Why? The dosa is still existing in your mind. It will not disappear easily. But in this way, you're trying to keep precepts, you're trying to practice meditation, then you can stay with the good objects for a long time, whenever you want, because of the practice. Then dosa cannot arise in your mind, because all kusala mind is arising. Your mind is kusala mind, then no akusala mind, no dosas can arise. In this way, for example, you practice one meditation, you can stay with these objects for a long time, at the time very peaceful and comfortable. Only just kusala mind is arising. This kusala mind, the many mental factors like, for example, piti, sada, face, etc., they are associating with this good mind. Then there's no chance for arising or dosa. Not only dosa, loba also in the same way. In this way, you need to try. The purpose of meditation practice is to stay away from the defilement. If possible, to completely destroy the defilements, including dosa. Okay? Then, finally, you realize Nibbana. At the time, sure, as soon as you take Nibbana as objects, the first time, then this past knowledge will destroy the strong dosa. The dosa still have dosa, but not so strong. It will not commit killing, something like this. You still have loba, you will not commit the stealing or doing such a misconduct, etc. That's why they destroy the all defilements which can cause for full states. Then Sotapanna becomes Sotapanna, they still have loba, dosa, moha. They still can stay in family life. They still can do business, but their loba, dosa, moha is not so strong. Then their morality, they will never break the 5 precepts. Because of this reason, they will never fall into full state. This one. If they continue to practice to attain higher megaphala nibbana, then the higher past knowledge will destroy more and more defilement. Then when they become anagami state, the anagami past knowledge completely destroy their dosa, anga, no more anga. Then anga will never appear again at that time. And this we need to practice beginning from dana kusala, sila kusala up to, bhavana kusala, upasana kusala. Without practicing, it is impossible to remove.
If he doesn't have the concentration from samatha practice, if someone don't have this basis, he go and practice anicca sanya, adinava sanya, and so on. Would that cause dosa mind to arise?
No. If they properly practice, this is kusala, then it will not cause for arising of dosa mind. Yeah? For example, then just now I already explained anicca sanya, is it? Then all human beings were dying after 100 years. All human beings in the world now, they will not exist. They were all passed away. In this way, when you reflect on this way, this is a kind of position, although it is not real vipassana yet, but it also supports your mind. Okay, not to have attachment and to see the nature of impermanence in the world. Then such kinds, when you reflect in this way again and again, then you will have sense of urgency. By paying attention the death again and again, like the marana nosati senya, the perception of recollection of the death, like this. And then in this way, when you have such kinds of kusala mind, then you will continue to do more and more kusala. Even you will renounce the whole world. Then all day and practice meditation diligently. In this way, can realize nibbana like this. Can practice up to real vipassana state. but need to start beginning from such kinds of basis kusala, not immediately.
When there are two questions here. First, if he doesn't have first jhana, how to do anicca sanya so that the mind can detach from the suffering of diseases?
Just now I explained only just example as the first jhana. For example, there are perception or anatta sanya, is it?
No, if he doesn't have first jhana, how to do anicca sanya?
Or anicca sanya.
So that when he is sick, he doesn't feel suffering.
No problem. And then just now I already explained. Although you don't reach up to real vipassana state yet, but you can reflect just now. All human beings will pass away one day. Then after 100 years, there are no more human beings, no more current human beings. There will be new human beings. Or in this way, when you reflect in this way, then you will be able to remove the attachments to the world, the things, etc. Then even based on this knowledge, then even you can try to practice the three trainings. Then you can be successful. You can reach up to real vipassana state. You can attain up to jhana's concentration state also. But without practicing, cannot attain. Need to practice.
When he knows anicca, dukkha, anatta. When he think about it, when he think that he may die, the mind become more afraid and more worried. So how to pay attention correctly?
Correctly, then don't be afraid of this. This is a real nature that will come to you also. Not only to you, all human beings, all beings, okay, which is existing in the world. After arising, will never exist permanently. It will perish. It will pass away. For example, you are reflecting on your death. You will surely pass away one day. At the beginning, you may be afraid of the death. But later, when you reflect on this, okay, many people also die. Not only I will die. All beings will die one day. Is this? And this, when you reflect on this again and again, this kind of nature is not real. When you are afraid of the death, then this is not a kind of dosa. This is a kind of kusala mind. Then if you don't reflect on the death, what will happen? You will be neglected. You will enjoy with the sensual pleasure. Your mind will incline towards the sensual pleasure. You want to waste your time by searching for the sensual pleasure, by doing the things for sensual pleasure. There's no kusala mind. You have no inclinations to do kusala, etc. But when you reflect on this again and again, you have a kind of fearful mind towards the things. Then you will understand, all will pass away one day. They can enjoy with the sensual pleasure. They are happy with the sensual pleasure. Even we all will die one day. Why they are happy with the sensual pleasure? Why they are delightful in sensual pleasure? Then even you will think like this. When you reflect on the death again and again, impermanent natures again and again. Based on this, then you can contemplate the ultimate reality, Brahmata Nama Rupa, as impermanence later, not immediately.
When Nibbana as an object, is it sunyata?
Nibbana has many meanings, many synonyms. Okay, Nibbana, the literal meaning is the free from craving. Not only free from craving, according to just now the Girimananda Sutta, Etan Santa, Etan Panita, the Nibbana is peaceful, Nibbana is superior, sublime. Then there's no formations, no nama rupa. There's no upadit. There's no clinging, attachment. There's no craving in the Nibbana. There's a no defilement. There's a no nama rupa, only just a kind of peaceful element. Peaceful element. Again, these peaceful elements, what happen? No defilements can arise. Then if there's a no defilement, the mind will be very peaceful. Well, this mind is, the mega mind or flat mind only.
This question, I think Seattle have answered. What are the 7 sanya? Is it anicca sanya, pahana sanya, and asubha sanya?
Just now already one by one, is it? Okay.
Yes. Actually, Seattle already talked. The whole talk is about the 7 sanya.
Yes, 7 sanya already finished. And then maybe he or she want me to summarize again, is it? Anicca sanya, anatta sanya, asubha sanya, adinawa sanya, pahana sanya, viraga sanya, and nirodha sanya. Altogether 7 sanya. Just now they said the sunyata. Sunyata also refer to this one. Okay, sunyata nibbana, animita nibbana, apanihita nibbana, the same. No? Sunyata means no lobha, dosa, moha. Sunyata means no nama, rupa, no formations. No sankhara dhamma. That is why nibbana is called sunyata also.
This question regarding the Nila Kasina, the practice of Nila Kasina. In the Nila Kasina practice, the meditator has to take the color of his own hair or the color of the hair of another meditator in front of him. But for Chinese, their hair is not brown in color, but green in color. So how to take the color of Nila Kasina?
Oh, the hair color is the gray color, is it? They dye. Not old age. Then will be white kasina. If the color is the the gray color of the white color, then don't take this color. Only just the black color, blue color you can take. Nila color, and Visuddhimagga mentions to take the black color or hair objects or Nila Kasina. But Aimbo here, you saw Aimbo also it can be taken for the Nila Kasina practice. Nila Kasina practice. If you cannot take your proper hair in your head, then you can take the hair from others' head. Need to find the suitable object.
How to stabilize his own mind? He feels that his mind is always shaking because of emotion, very emotional.
Stay with the Dhamma. Do kusala, then kusala mind. Then when you stay with the kusala mind, all mental factors will be good mental factors, Citasika, like piti, saddha, etc. Then they make your mind to be clear, not to be dirty. If there is akusala mind, then akusala Citasika will associate. They will also make your mind to be dirty, to be impure. Then stay with the Dhamma, especially with the meditation object.
He felt that he has this idea. He felt that life is like an ocean, and all the life before means life after life in the past, like river flowing into the big ocean now. Means the big ocean now is formed by many rivers in the past life. So in the past, all the karma they have done constitutes the present life, which is the present ocean. Okay, so if this life finish means pass away, next life will repeat again, means another new ocean will form again from the karma now and the karma in the past as part of the river flowing into the ocean. So this idea is correct. But he said he also heard from one meditator, in samsara, our mind is just like a flow, one single line. So this idea, is it contradicts with the idea of mind, means the idea of ocean and the idea of one line?
One line is a nama rupa line. For example, now, as long, according to the dependent originations, as long as you have been removed avijja and dana, ignorance and craving, then whatever you do, this is called sankhara and karma. Okay, sankhara and karma. This karma, because you still have defilement, kilesa, avijja, dana, etc., avijja, dana, uparana. Then whatever you do, kusala or akusala, then they will produce future result like 5 aggregates. Sankhara, pecha, vijnana, vijnana, pecha, nama, rupa, etc. Then again, never finish. Then when you receive 5 aggregate, then you will also receive a lot of suffering, like the birth is suffering, aging is suffering, death is suffering, sorrow, limitation in your life, many that you don't want to experience. Then as long as you don't try to destroy the defilement, whatever you do, when they become mature, they will produce their result. Then you will receive 5 aggregate. For example, you do kusala, because this kusala will produce as human beings 5 aggregate or devas 5 aggregate, etc. Then when you do akusala, this akusala will produce in 5 aggregate in the animal kingdoms or health or the full state, etc. Then according to this then need to experience the suffering. Although you are human being, this is in good realms, but you are also still experiencing a lot of problem, a lot of suffering. According to the point of the Buddha's teaching or point of realities, from point of view of realities, what will happen? Then if there's a 5 aggregate, this is suffering, this is problem. Then in this way can never finish. But when the Buddha appeared, then the Buddha taught to his disciples who can listen to his Dhamma. Then there are 4 noble truths. There are 5 aggregate. This is the dukkha, the noble truth of suffering. If they understand this is suffering, then why the suffering appear? When this problem appear, then you try to find the cause of suffering or cause of problem. Then briefly craving. Okay, avijja, dana, uparana, craving, because of craving it appear. Then you try to understand. Then if there's a craving and cause of, if there's a suffering or problem and cause of suffering, cause of problem, there must be the cessation of suffering, cessation of problem. Then cessation of problem is a realization of Nibbana. Nibbana, okay? Attainment of Nibbana. Then what is the way to realize Nibbana, to attain Nibbana? Then the Buddha taught the 4 noble truths. This is the way leading to cessation or suffering or problem. Then in this way, they realize Nibbana. They also escape from the suffering, the wrong or rebirth. If they don't think this, the 5 aggregate or, for example, this existence are suffering or problem, then they will not try to find what are the cause of problem or suffering. Where is the cessation of problem or suffering? What is the way leading to cessation or suffering or problem? Then they will not realize Nibbana. That is why the Buddha taught the dukkha sajja first. The noble truth of suffering or the noble truth of problem. As long as they don't think this is problem, they will never escape from this problem. If they think this is problem, okay, this is the first understanding. Then need to try to understand by reflecting on their truth nature or problem or suffering. You know, problem you discern nama rupa as they really are based on sila samadhi. Then you try to understand nama rupa as they really are. Actually, you realize the noble truth or suffering or problem. Then you try to continue to find the cause of suffering or problem. Then you try to find out the 5 causes: avijja, tanha, uparana, sankhara, karma. Or then you understand the noble truth of the cause of problem or suffering. Then you continue to practice vipassana. Then you realize nibbana. You try to find out the cessation or suffering or the cessation of problem. Then you practice the way to realize nibbana, beginning from sila, samadhi up to panya, step by step, systematically. The noble eightfold path or 7 stages of purification. This is the way leading to cessation of suffering. This is only.
So his question is, his idea of life is like an ocean, or is like a single line?
Single line. Single line is a nama rupa line only. As long as you have been stopped by realizing, by penetrating the True Noble Truth, then this line will continue. Also, since beginningless or samsara, then this continue nama rupa line only. Life by life. Life by life, actually only just nama rupa line only is can consider. But ocean, then according to simile, possible, then bhava samudra. This is the life of ocean. Bhava samudra means the bhava, the life existence is very large. That is when they, according to metaphorically, then they says metaphor. They says the life is ocean.
Thank you so much, Sayadaw, for today's teaching. I think that is all of the questions from both the chat room and also the question and answer box. May Sayadaw lead us in making aspirations and sharing merits, please. Tadu, tadu, tadu.
Okay, can repeat after me to share your merits to all beings. Idame punyam.
Idame punyam.
Asawakaya.
Atawakaya.
Wahan hodu.
Wahan hodu.
Idame punyam.
Idame punyam.
Nibbanasa.
Nibbanata.
Kachayo hodu.
Isayo hodu.
Mama punya bagan.
Mama punya baga.
Sabba sadana.
Sabba tatana.
Ajemi.
Pajemi.
Esabe.
Netabe.
Mesama.
Netama.
Punya bagan.
Punya baga.
Labandu.
Labandu. Tadu. Tadu. Tadu.